Okay, so this wants us to solve for x. Notice we do have coefficients that are fractions. And although fractions are sometimes intimidating, we can do this. It's not too complicated. We're still going to solve this using the same order and method that we always do. So first off, we know that in order to solve for x, we want to get x by itself. So to do that, we need to simplify things on the left-hand side of this equation. So we've got 3/4 x and negative 1/2 x. These are like terms in the fact that they both have x attached to them. So we need to combine them. That way when we move x, we don't have to move it twice. We can just move it one time. So to combine these two, 3/4 x minus 1/2 x, first we need to convert that 1/2 into a fraction that has a common denominator with 3/4. We're going to do this by multiplying the 1 by 2 and the 2 by 2. So we're going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 2, and that'll give us the common denominator of 4. So now we're going to have 3/4 x minus 1 times 2 gives us 2. 2 times 2 gives us 4. So minus 2/4 x. Now this is pretty simple. 3 minus 2 is 1, and then you just keep your denominator. So we now have 1/4 x. So now that that's more neatly done, let's rewrite the equation at the top. So it's going to be 1/4 x plus 4 equals 2/3. Okay, so 1/4 x plus 4 is equal to 2/3. Again, we're trying to get the x by itself. Well, notice that x is attached to 1/4. And we've got this plus 4. Well, this plus 4 is pretty simple to move because it's not actually attached to the x. We're just going to subtract 4 from both sides. Uh-oh, got another problem with subtracting fractions because we know that we need to turn this 4 into a fraction that we can easily subtract from 2/3. So I'm going to change colors just so it doesn't all run together. So if we have 2/3 minus 4, so we've got 2/3 minus, we need to change this 4, we need to change this 4 into a fraction. So we can change this into a fraction by just simply putting it over 1. So 4 over 1, 4 over 1, and then we're going to multiply both the top and the bottom by 3 in order to get that common denominator. So times 3 at the top and times 3 at the bottom, and that's going to give us 12 over 3. Now you can check this. 12 divided by 3, that equals 4. So that works out. So now we've got 2/3 minus 12/3. And that's going to give us a negative 10/3. Negative 10/3. So I'm going to rewrite the equation again. So we've got 1/4 x. We've moved that 4, so now we just have 1/4 x is equal to negative 10/3. That's where we're at now. All right, last step would simply be to divide both sides by 1/4 because we got to get that x all by itself. Well, in order to divide both sides by 1/4, we're just going to multiply by the reciprocal, okay? We're just simply going to multiply by the reciprocal. That's how you divide by a fraction. So, I'm going to multiply this side by 4 over 1. Look at there, it cancels out. So the x is by itself over here. Now we've got to multiply this side by the reciprocal. 4 over 1. So negative 10 times 4 gives us negative 40. 3 times 1 gives us 3. So x is equal to negative 40 over 3. You can simplify this into a decimal if you would like, because that's all a fraction represents is division. So negative 40 divided by 3, and that's going to give you negative 13.3, and the 3 is repeating. So your x is equal to negative 40 over 3, or you could write x is equal to 13.3, where the 3 is repeating. Just like that.